In this lecture video, we will understand the metrics for the service level agreement. The first metric is availability, then you have response time, portability, problem reporting, and last is the penalty clause. So first is the availability, meaning to say here is how much time the service will be available. Availability tells us how often the cloud service is working and accessible. Now, in simple words, you can say that out of the total time, how much time the service is actually working. That is nothing but the availability. Now, here you can see, like suppose if a service is available all the time, it is high availability. If it frequently stops, then it is low availability. So, customers expect services like email, then banking, websites to be available anytime they need. Now, usually it is written as 99%, 99.9%, 99.99%. Now, always it is expressed in percentage. What does it mean? What does these three numbers mean? Here, 99% availability means service may be down for several days in a year. Next is 99.9% availability. It means that only a few hours of the downtime. Then third is 99.99% availability. It means very minimal downtime. It may be of few minutes. So higher the percentage, better service, then it will be less downtime and more reliability. So even a small difference from 99.9 to 99.99 is very important in the real world systems. So here you can see 99.9% is the uptime, and only downtime is this much, that is only for a few hours in total 1 year. So only few hours of downtime allowed in a year. Now you can take a real-time example. Suppose you have an email service which promises 99.9% availability. This means that the service will work almost all the time and only a very small downtime is allowed. So approximate downtime allowed in a year will be around 8 to 9 hours per year. Okay, here. Now, so that users can access the email almost anytime. Next is if service is down for many days, then the CSP must compensate. It means that if the cloud provider fails to meet the promised availability, then it is considered as a SLA violation, that is a service level agreement violation, and the customer can raise a complaint. So the CSP may provide the refund, give service credits, or offer compensation. For example, if the email service is down for 2 to 3 days, then it exceeds allowed downtime and CSP must take the responsibility. This ensures that the provider maintains high service quality. So availability is important because it ensures the continuous service access. It will build the trust and helps customers choose reliable providers and holds the CSP accountable for downtime. So in short, you can say higher the availability percentage, better and more reliable the service is. Then second is the response time, meaning to say here is maximum time taken to respond to a request. So here the response time is the time taken by a system to react after a user sends a request. Now in simple words, you can say how fast the system responds when you click or request something. For example, you click login, then how many seconds it takes to open the page. Or you search something, how quickly results will appear. So faster response time means better user experience. Now when you open your Gmail, what happens? You type the URL or click the app. Okay, then the system processes your request and your inbox page will be loaded, and normally it will take 2 to 3 seconds, and this is considered a good response time. So users expect quick access without waiting. Now, if SLA says response time is less than 5 seconds, okay, here, if it says it is less than 5 seconds, then it clearly defines the maximum allowed time. This means that every request should be completed within 5 seconds and occasional slight delay is acceptable, but most responses must be within the limit. Now, why this is important? Because it sets the performance standard and it helps the measure service. It helps to measure the service quality and it ensures the system is consistently fast. Now, if it takes 30 seconds regularly, then it is a SLA violation. That is, the system takes too long time. For example, Gmail takes 30 seconds to load regularly. Then it exceeds the service level agreement limit of the 5 seconds. Here, actually it is 5 seconds, but it is taking 30 seconds. So, service is considered poor performance. So consequences may be what? Customer dissatisfaction, then complaints may be raised, and CSP may need to fix the performance issues, provide the compensation. So this is called as the SLA violation. So the response time is important because it ensures fast system performance, it improves the user satisfaction, it helps monitor service efficiency and holds the CSP accountable for delays. So in short, you can say that faster response time is equal to better user experience and satisfied customers. Next is the portability. It means the ability to transfer the data to another provider. Portability means the ease with which a customer can move their data and applications from one cloud provider to the another. That is, can I shift my data easily if I want to change the cloud provider? The cloud provider may be Amazon Web Service. I want to change it to Google Cloud. So it is important because the customer should not feel stuck with one provider. It gives flexibility and freedom to switch. For example, suppose a company wants to move from Amazon Web Services to the Google Cloud. That is, the company is currently using the Amazon Web Services. Now they want to move to the Google Cloud. This process of moving data and services is called as the portability. Now SLA should clearly mention whether the data can be exported easily. That is, it should specify how easily the data can be downloaded or transferred. It includes availability of export tools, time required to transfer the data, or if there are any restrictions. For example, can you download all the files in one click, or is there any limit to data transfer? Now, if the data export is difficult, switching providers becomes very hard. Then, are there any extra charges? That is, SLA must clearly mention if there are additional costs for moving the data. It includes the data transfer fees, that is, the egress charges or migration service charges. For example, some providers charge money when you move data out of their cloud. Next is the data format compatibility, where the SLA should ensure that the data is stored in a standard and compatible format. And it is important because the new provider should be able to read and use the data, and it avoids the data conversion problems. For example, if the data is stored in a unique or proprietary format, it may not work in another cloud. So the standard format make migration smooth and easy. Now, this prevents the vendor lock-in. Okay, so it will prevent the vendor lock-in. That is, it prevents vendor lock-in means customer becomes dependent on one provider and cannot easily switch. The problems may be high switching cost, technical difficulties, limited flexibility, and the portability helps in easy migration, freedom to choose better services, and avoids the dependency. So here portability, it is important because it gives freedom to switch the providers, reduces the risk and dependency, ensure the data flexibility, and prevents the vendor lock-in. So in simple words, you can say portability ensures the customers can move their data to another cloud provider without difficulty. Then next is the problem reporting, that is how to report the problems. Here it defines the process and the channels through which customers can inform the cloud service provider about the issues. That is, if something goes wrong, how and where should you report it? Why it is important? Because it ensures the quick communication, then helps in fast issue resolution and reduces the downtime impact. Now, one real example you can say, SLA mentions the 24/7 customer care. Okay, so it means that it is available, the support is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it is important because the problems can occur anytime, day or night, and especially critical for services like banking, healthcare, and e-commerce. For example, if a server fails at midnight, then support team is still available. Then second is the email support, where the customers can report issues by sending an email. It includes the writing the problem details, then attaching the screenshots or the logs, or getting the response within a specified time. And it is useful because here it is good for non-urgent issues and keeps a written record of communication, and it helps in tracking and documentation of the problems. Then comes the ticket system, where it is a formal way of registering the complaints, and it works by like creating a user, like here the user can create a support ticket, then system assigns a ticket number, and issue is tracked until it is resolved. Okay, here that is a ticket system. So benefits of this ticket system are: it is easy to monitor the status, ensures no complaint is lost, helps prioritizing the issues. So it provides organized and trackable problem handling. Next comes the emergency contact number, where a direct phone number for urgent and critical issues will be there. You can use when system fails or security breaches and service is there is outage in the service. Now, why it is important? Because it needs the immediate communication, faster response than the email or the tickets, and it ensures quick action in emergencies. Now, one example you can see here. Uh, if an online payment server fails at the midnight, then what should happen? The bank IT team should immediately contact the CSP. It uses the emergency number or 24/7 support and reports issue quickly. So the result of this will be what? It will be faster communication, or faster troubleshooting, reduced downtime, and the less impact on the customers. So, without proper problem reporting, delays can cause huge financial loss. Therefore, problem reporting, it is important because it ensures quick communication. Then here helps in fast issue resolution, then minimizes the service downtime, and also it improves the customer satisfaction. So SLA clearly defines the ways to report the problem so that the customer can get help quickly anytime. Okay, and it is important because it helps in faster resolution, less downtime, better service reliability, and the customer satisfaction. Next is the penalty clause, where it means compensation if CSP fails to meet the service level agreement. So the penalty clause, it defines what the cloud service provider must do if they fail to deliver the promised service. In simple words, you can say that if the provider breaks the promise, how will they compensate the customer? And why it is important? Because it holds the provider accountable, then protects the customer from losses, and ensures seriousness in maintaining the service quality. One real-time example you can see here is if CSP promises 99.9% uptime but provides only 95%. What it means? It means that the promised service is almost no downtime and actual service is large downtime. That is, there is a delay of many hours or the days. That is, it is 99.99% to 95%. What will be the result? This is a clear service level agreement violation, and here the customer is affected badly. So compensation becomes necessary here. So they may refund the money which you have paid. That is, if the service was poor for a month, there may be a partial refund, and the customer does not fully pay or pay for the poor service, and ensures fair payment for actual service received. Then second is give service credits. That is, instead of cash, CSP may offer free service usage in future. For example, extra storage or free subscription days, and the customer gets the additional value. Then next is the reduce next month bill, where the CSP may discount future charges and like 20% reduction in the next billing cycle. and this here the compensation is adjusted automatically, and there is easy and practical method of the compensation. So this builds what? This builds the trust. That is, when CSP includes a penalty clause, customer feel provider is responsible and reliable. There is a security against the failure, and CSP also tries harder to maintain the service quality and builds long-term trust and confidence. So one real-time example or the scenario you can see here. Imagine a big online shopping company during the festival sale like Diwali. So here what happens is the website becomes, that is if server crashes for 5 hours. Here, if server crashes for 5 hours, what happens? Website becomes unavailable and customers cannot browse or order. Then there may be company losses crores in crores of rupees. That is because of the high traffic during the sale. Every time there will be large revenue, every minute there will be large revenue, and downtime directly causes huge financial losses. Then next is customers cannot place the orders, where it impacts the customer frustration, then loss of trust, and also the possible shift to competitors. So if SLA guarantees high availability, the CSP must compensate for the downtime based on the penalty clause, refund or credits, financial compensation or the service improvements, and ensure the provider takes the responsibility for the losses. So here you can say that the penalty clause is important because it ensures the accountability of the CSP, protects the customers from the losses, it encourages high service quality and builds the trust between customer and the provider. So penalty clause is nothing but the financial compensation when SLA promises are not met. Okay. Now, why this SLA is very important in the Internet of Things or the IoT? So here, IoT systems depend heavily on the cloud service to collect, process, and respond to real-time data. If the cloud services fails, the entire system can stop working, which may cause serious problems. Like in smart hospitals, there the devices monitor the patient health and data is sent to the cloud for analysis. If the cloud fails, what happens? Then the doctors may not receive critical patient data and delay in treatment can be dangerous. Second is the smart traffic systems, where the sensors and the cameras control the traffic signals and the data is processed in real time. And if cloud fails, then the traffic lights may stop working, and it leads to what? Leads to traffic jams or the accidents. Next is the power grids, which are nothing but the smart power grids, which monitors electricity usage and the distribution, and it automatically balances the load. Now, if the cloud fails, then the power distribution may become unstable and risk of outages or the there will be the risk of the outages or the blackouts. Now, if the cloud service fails, ambulance tracking may stop. That is because the ambulance tracking will be having GPS based ambulance will be GPS based, having the GPS based tracking which depends upon the cloud, and without it hospitals cannot track the location, and this can delay the emergency response and the risk values. And the traffic signals may fail because the signals depend on the real-time data processing, and the failure may cause signal blackout, accidents or the traffic chaos. So SLA ensures the high reliability, that is the system works continuously with minimal failure. It includes the high time, that is of 99.9% or more, stable performance, and it is important because the critical systems must not stop working like the hospitals or the traffic, and it ensures continuous operation for essential services. Next comes the fast response, where the SLA guarantees quick response time for processing the data, like for example instant alert if patient condition changes and immediate traffic signal adjustment. And here IoT systems often require real-time decisions, so it ensures quick actions and timely decisions. Next is the backup guarantee, where it ensures the proper data backup and recovery systems, and it includes the automatic backups, disaster recovery plans. And the importance of this is if the system crashes, the data is not lost and the services can be restored quickly. So it ensures the system continuity even during the failure. Therefore, here SLA it is very important in IoT because it prevents a system failure in the critical applications. It ensures reliability and safety, supports real-time operations, and protects against the data loss and the downtime. So SLA in IoT ensures critical service remain available, responsive, and protected even when the things go wrong. So SLA, it is nothing but a written promise between the customer and the cloud provider about the service quality, and it protects the customer, the ensures service quality, and the CSP defines the responsibility limits. Thank you.